Hey, good morning. Wade, Thomas, and Robert. Good morning, Robert. Thanks for sharing the video so quickly. Good morning. Morning. I saw you post about your puppies yesterday, telling them to go get a job. No, I think it said go do some chores. Don't be trying to act like that. You know you got them rotten, and now you want them to go and do something they don't even know how to do. But that's all right. I got their back. That's why I'm watching you. I'm watching you. Yes, I am. But great morning. I hope everybody's morning off to a great start. It is early, and I know 6:15 is a little early for some people. Actually, I have about 6:20 now. But I want to say thanks for hopping on, and I want to just give you a few words of encouragement for the day. It's Thursday. The week is almost over. The month is almost over, y'all, and I'm just looking at time just go by. And I'm always amazed at how fast it goes by. But then I go back and I look, and I think, just not long ago, it was January 1st. We were coming up with all these things we wanted to do for the year, and now the year is over. And so if you haven't already started planning for 2018, guess what? You're late. The time is passing. So just want to say welcome to the Chronicles of Cree. Wade, I don't know if I think I've seen you on here before. I'm not really sure, but great morning to you. And today our topic is practicing acceptance. Practicing acceptance. And last night before going to bed, I was like, okay, what do I want to talk about tomorrow? What do I want to talk about tomorrow? What do I want to talk about tomorrow? And so I kind of shared with people earlier in the week about a book that I'm reading, The 7 Spiritual Laws to Success. And as I was reading I'm reading this book for a lot of different reasons, but I want to see what the spiritual realm has to say about success. Because I know that everything that touches our lives lies in the book of 66 that I talk about all the time. So I wanted to know what the perspective was spiritually. But also, I wanted to see what a different perspective would be like coming from someone else. Because he's not from our country. The author's from a different country. And so I thought about practicing acceptance and how sometimes it's really hard for us to accept things. It's difficult for us to accept things for a whole lot of different reasons. We, say, oh, it goes against my core belief. It goes against my mores. It goes against everything I stand for. It goes against this. It goes against that. And so sometimes it's difficult for us to accept things. But we need to practice acceptance. I thought about how we try, and especially with people, we want to change them. Sometimes we see people and we're like, yeah, I like them, but I wish that they... or I wish that they, and we say these things over and over and over because we wish all these things about them, and we need to just accept them for who they are. That goes for people. It goes for, circumstances in our lives, events that happen. It goes for all of that. We have got to learn how to practice acceptance. Things happen for a reason. You have events and circumstances that pop up in your life, and they're meant to be there for a lesson. That's what I believe. And so once we realize that it's problems, we say they're problems, but I think they're disguised. God has jokes. I think that they're disguised as, opportunities. They're disguised as, obstacles that help us become better problem solvers, if you will. And so when we learn to practice acceptance, we can accept people for who they are. That's the beauty in it. Just accept people for who they are. Life is great. Life is great. It's such a beautiful gift. And sometimes we take it for granted. I have been guilty of that, of just taking it for granted, but it's a gift. And it's a precious gift. And if you think it's not, read the obit section in the Dallas Morning News today. Think about all the people who have passed away. Think about all the people who wish they could be here and just have another opportunity to do what it is that you're doing. And so when we practice acceptance, we accept people for who they are and where they are. Sometimes we say, oh, I can just shape and I can mold people and I can do this and I can do this, I can do this. We want to do all these things with people, but we have to just accept them for who they are. Thank you, Miss Judah, for sharing the video. So I'm excited because there is an opportunity today, Thursday, October 19th, for us to just learn how to practice acceptance. All week we've had, challenges. There's not a week that goes by that you don't face them. It's okay. And that's what I have to keep reminding myself of too. It's okay. But when we practice acceptance of people, then we can embrace our differences. We can embrace, the idea that everybody's different. Everybody's different. People aren't going to think alike. So the way you accept a problem might be a different way somebody else accepts it. What I mean is somebody can say, you know what? Hey, I just want to let you know that hey, Danae, I lost everything I had in the fire. I lost everything I had in the hurricane. I lost everything I had in this, and they're disastrous situations. And we're like, oh my God, no, I can't believe it. I can't believe it. But then they say, but I'm so glad that I escaped with my life and my family was okay. So they accepted that situation because they looked at, you know what, it could have been worse than that. So when they look at the end result, it wasn't as bad as it could have been. We say, oh my goodness, I can't believe you. Because we're looking at, oh, they lost everything that they had. They got to replace all that stuff. And they're looking at it from the viewpoint of, but I got by with my life. I escaped with my life and my family is okay. So it's like how we look at things and our perspective has to change. Earlier in the week, I talked about, it was Tuesday, and I talked about shifting your perspective and the power behind the shift. The power behind the shift is amazing. And so when you're able to shift your focus, you're able to shake and move like no other, because you can see it from a different vantage point. So when we learn how to accept ourselves for who we are, and when we learn how to accept other people for who they are, it's like the world is a better place. The world is a much better place because you've got to learn that people are just who they are. Okay, let's talk about situations that pop up in your life. Things don't go well, spouse don't act right, kids don't act right, your boss don't act right, friends don't act right, church people going crazy. You deal with all these things. Good morning, Brenda. You deal with all this stuff, and it's like, you are like, oh my God, I just can't believe this. I can't believe that. Well, believe it. Believe it. But we've got to learn how to accept people for who they are and where they are, and look at the situations that we have in our lives and figure out how we can make it better. What can you do to improve it? What can you do so that things will be better next time? It's always about self-reflection, but sometimes we have a difficult time with self-reflection because we don't want to look at that person in the mirror and be real harsh, because you don't want to think that you're, the person that's making those kind of mistakes. Well, guess what? I know I'm not perfect. So when you're looking at the person in the mirror, when I'm looking at me in the mirror, it's easy to say, you need to work on this. You need to work on that. You need to work on that. How many people like my mouth? I know. I'm going to say this. I'm going to put it out there. I know my mouth can be curt. It can say some things and it can tear up a whole bunch of stuff. So when you know that that's one of your weaknesses, you have to accept it and go, but how do I make it better? How do I do better? How do I affect the people around me? How do I make change in myself so that other people around me are positively impacted instead of negatively impacted? So it's all about how you see the situation and whether or not you are ready to make the shift. You got to be able to make the shift. You got to be able to make the shift. We do it all the time at work. We do it all the time at work because we know we need that check so we can pay the bills. So you're able to make the shift and change perspectives at work a lot easier than you are sometimes in your personal life. I'm just saying. If your boss says, I need that report Friday at 12 o'clock, they don't want it Saturday morning at 10. You might have something to do the night before, but guess what? All of a sudden, you can shift perspectives and get that done, right? Good morning, Millie. You can change perspectives and change your whole evening so that you get that done. We got to learn how to practice acceptance. That's what I'm talking about, Dana and Millie. You just hopped on. Practicing acceptance in people and practicing acceptance in the situations that we have. I thank God for second chances. And the reason why I thank him for second chances is because if my life depended on you, hell, you wouldn't give it to me. Talk about practice and acceptance. We're so quick to run out and say, oh, I wouldn't do this, I wouldn't do that, I'm not going to do this, I'm not going to do that, because I have. Until you find yourself in that same situation. And then all of a sudden, your whole perspective shifts about it because now it's you, it's the person in the mirror. So when we're looking at circumstances and situations in our lives, we have to figure out the best way to handle it and accept where we are. See, when you're going through a real hard, difficult, bad financial situation, and you're trying to figure out, well, how am I going to get that done and that done and that done and that done? You have to accept the fact that right then and there, you need the assistance. You need help. The circumstance is not making you. You're just in a bad situation. So these circumstances are going to call for you to dig deep and pull deep and hang on and weather that storm. It's the circumstance that you have to accept. You don't have to say, oh, well, you know what? This is who I am. No, your circumstance doesn't make you. It's just a circumstance. It's just a circumstance. Good morning, Susan. It's just a circumstance. It's not making you. It's not making you. I know we go through a lot of bad stuff. Talk about bad. I need help because I have, there's a family who has 4 children. Talk about a bad situation. They have 4 children. Not only does the mom have 4 children, well, she had 4 children, but mom passed away. When the mom passed away, a cousin had to get the children. The cousin had 4 children of her own. Now there's 8 children. The cousin's husband got sent back to his country. He got deported. So now the lady is left with 8 kids living in their mobile home. But the mobile home burned. And they don't have anywhere to live. You think that's not a bad situation? It'll make you shut up talking about, oh, my nails don't match my toes. And oh, I don't have on my purple hat to match my purple for today because it's purple day. See, all that kind of stuff go out the window. We've got to accept where we are. And as difficult as that may sound, yes, I'm going to be asking for your help to help that family too, because that's 8 children, one lady trying to take care of them, and her brother is helping her. So a lady and her brother with 8 kids, I'm getting all the sizes and all that. So yes, I'm going to be coming to you. You got too much stuff anyway. Yes, I need you to go in your pantry and give me some stuff. I need you to dig through your kids' closets and give me some clothes. And I'm going to need you to dig through their toys and give me some toys. So yes, I will be asking. So, and thank you in advance for your participation. Thank you so much. But when we look at situations, you think that lady is not having to embrace that circumstance? You think she's not having to embrace that situation? You think it's not hard for her to sleep at night? 8 kids? I had 2. Trying to feed and take care of them, but now it's 8? Are you kidding me? So when we practice acceptance, we accept that, you know what, this is a really bad situation right now. But I've never seen God not provide. So when we learn how to accept that, you know what, this is just where I am right now, but it's going to get better, things do get better. We have the power. It's in the tongue. Book of 66 said that. The power of life and death is in the tongue. That's what mine says. Maybe you tore your page out. But that's what it says. So if we have the power to do this, then why can't we just accept things for how they are? So if your life is going in one direction and you don't like it, turn around and change it. God allows you turns. He does. Lord, thank you. He allows you turns. He does. So when we learn how to accept things for how they are and accept people for who they are, life is a whole lot smoother. It is. It just is. You have to just shift your perspective. Shift it. Just shift it. And so when you're going through the day today and things are getting a little out of hand, just say, let me make a shift. Let me make a shift. My first car was, I had to shift gears in it. It was like a standard. And so at first it was difficult to drive because I couldn't get out the clutch and the gas and kind of balance it out. I couldn't do it evenly. So my car used to just jerk in the beginning. So I said, okay, I'm going to have to learn how to drive this car. And I need to learn it today. So I found myself in a situation where when I got in the car, I had this high level of anxiety because I was like, oh my God, I don't want to run over anybody today. I barely stopped at the red light yesterday. And now I got to make the shift, but I got to make these shifts on time. I figured it out. You know why? Because nobody else was in the car with me to help me get to point A to point B. And so I had to do it. I had to figure it out. Robert says, you're so right. And in life, oh yeah, life does become less stressful. It does. It becomes less stressful because you're not dealing with a whole bunch of stuff that you can't change. I decided, you know what, if I can't change it, I need to just keep it moving. If I can't change it, how can I work with it? Does it work with me? What can I do? I need to figure out how to make that shift. That goes with the events in my life circumstances. Change, change, change. It is going to happen. But we've got to learn how to practice acceptance so that life isn't so stressful. It's already stressful enough. It is. Kids was talking to me yesterday talking about, oh, this is not fair. It's not fair. And it's not fair. I said, you know what's not fair? To get paid and have to go pay all the bills. I want to go to Nordstrom's. I want to go to the Louis Vuitton store. That's what I want to do. It's not fair. You're right. It's not fair. We do all this stuff and we talk about it's not fair. But those are children. So they don't quite understand. So we might give them a little pass. But as grown-ups who've lived life for a little while, practice acceptance and keep it moving. People on your job are the way that they are. Girl, I can't believe why not? Girl, I can't believe, why not? Look in the mirror. Now say, I can't believe you. Do that. See, we don't want to do that. We don't want to do that. Because then it makes you take a real hard look at yourself. It does. Try it. It works though. What are you doing to make your life less stressful? What are you doing? Because I made a vow. We're going to do things differently. I said, when's the last time we went on vacation? When's the last time we? Why don't we? Yeah, it's time. Practice acceptance. When you die, your inbox is still going to be full. When you die, that tray on your desk is still going to be full. And if you're lucky, they'll remember to send your family a freaking plant if they do that. So you can give all your time you want. You can give all the time you want to them. You can give it all. Get there at 5, leave at 10. Your inbox is still going to be full. Not only is your inbox going to still be full, but they'll have somebody else sitting in your seat tomorrow. So why are you stressing about it? Do what you can do. Practice acceptance. Do what you can do. Just saying. It is time for us to make a shift in our perspective and how we see things. And it's time for us to learn how to accept things for what they are. Accept things for what they are. Accept things for what they are. Events, circumstances, whatever it is that you're going through, accept it for what it is. It's just a circumstance. It's just an opportunity to use that adversity and turn it into an opportunity. So how can we take adversity and turn it into opportunities? You shift your perspective on it. You shift your perspective. Look at it differently. Okay, it's not so good right now. Business is not so good right now. How can it be better? How can it be better? What can you do? In business, they do SWOT analysis. They talk about strengths and weaknesses. They talk about obstacles. They talk about all this stuff. And they take that SWOT analysis and they do a real hard look at an organization. And I'm writing a paper on it too, so I'm thinking about it. But it's like you take a SWOT analysis of an organization and you're taking the pulse of that business or the organization because you want to know, how can we improve? How can we improve? How can we improve? What can we do better? So they do a survey and they ask all these questions. And they want to know, how was your experience when you were here at this hospital? Was the staff friendly? What was the response time? Were they concerned about your pain level? They ask you all these questions because they want to know. You go to a workshop and you do a survey when the survey when the workshop is over so that you can give them feedback on the workshop because those surveys help these people take the pulse of it. What do you do for you? How do you check your pulse? And I'm not talking about the physical pulse, but how do you check the pulse of what it is that you're doing? Your organization, you. How do you check your pulse? How do you know what's going right? How do you know what's going wrong? Can somebody else give you a survey? If someone else gave you a survey, what do you think the responses would be? Has she made a difference in anybody's life? Has she helped me? Has she done this? Has she done that? Has he done this? Has he done that? Was he somebody I could depend on? Was he somebody I could call for help? Because all those questions can come up. But how do you check the pulse of what you're doing? How do you check the pulse of your own business? Lakeisha, I know you check the pulse of your business. And the reason why I say that is because I see you making changes. What should I call this? What should I do that? Oh, hey, I'm here. I'm in Tyler. I'm in Terrell. I'm in Mesquite. I'm in that. I'm here. I'm here. I'm here. And you're out doing it. Same thing. See, in real estate, as a real estate agent, I love real estate. So I want to know about the new communities that are coming up. I want to know what people think about this community. So whenever I need to do an open house, I go and do an open house, but I knock on the neighbor's door and I say, hey, how you doing? My name is Karina with Coldwell Banker Residential. I just want to know how long you've been living in the community. Oh, wow, great. Okay, well, your neighbor's selling her house. You want to sell yours too? Oh, okay, yeah, I can sell it. All right, that's great. Okay, why don't you come on by? Checking the pulse. That's how I stay abreast of what's happening. Reading. Realtor Magazine. Getting on YouTube, seeing who's doing what, who's saying what. That's what I'm talking about. Good morning, Miss Patricia. So we got to learn how to take the pulse of what it is that we do. I can't wait on you to say, hey, Cree, how many phone calls did you make to old clients today? Hey, Cree, when's the last time you talked to that loan officer you've been working with? Or when is it? Check the pulse of your own stuff. And accept where you are. So if there is room for improvement, figure out where that area is. What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? Figure it out. That's how we practice acceptance. Well, you know what? If it's not going so good, you're not contacting enough people. Okay, pick the phone up and call. Pick it up and call. So today, practice acceptance. Practice acceptance. And y'all, we're going to turn in Mr. Robert, because sometimes I think he's abusing his dogs over there. We're gonna call them people on the Odoms family, because he wanna always try to put them out there and y'all need to get a job and y'all need to do this. He need to accept. Robert, I'm talking about you to your face now. Accept that those puppies are spoiled rotten and that you did it and that's your fault. Accept that. Okay. So today, what I want you to do is accept the fact that things are the way that they are. If you want them to change, you can change it. You can. You can change it. You can change it. We can't expect for our children to come in and say, you know, hey, Mom, let me do the dishes for you. Let me take that trash out for you. If you haven't made them do it before. I do have jokes this morning. I'm feeling pretty good, Robin. Check this out. When you go to Walmart and you see people whose children are being just so all over the place and loose and wild, and they're just running over you with baskets and they're all over the place, and they say, stop, honey, stop. Don't do that. And the kids completely ignore them. They've been ignoring them. It's just that now in public, she's hoping that they're not going to this time. Don't think that the things are going to be different in public if you haven't worked behind the scenes to put that in place. See, with some parents, all you got to do is this. And they straighten up. And you keep it moving. See, in church, when Tracy was small, she sat on the front row. I sang in the choir. I didn't have to have her in the choir stand with me. All I had to do was look at her. When we went to Walmart, I had to worry about her being all under the clothes and being all over the place, because I'd already practiced that behind closed doors, and I accepted the fact that I'm not going to have unruly children. So when you get out in public, things are the same. So when you make a command and you say, do this, do this, do this, kids can do it. Accept where you are. Accept things for how they are today. I wish you well on today. I hope that today is a day in which you're so productive until it blows your own mind. Sometimes we have to blow our own mind and toot our own horn. We do. We do. But on today, I hope that you're able to practice acceptance of the situations and circumstances and events in your life, because I believe that the problems that we have are just disguised as opportunities. I believe it. I believe that they're disguised as opportunities. I believe God has jokes, because he's like, I want to see what they're going to do with this. I want to see what they're going to do with this. Yeah, I believe that. I hope I get to see you this weekend. Oh, yes, ma'am. I am coming. I will be there Saturday morning. So we're going to leave Saturday morning, Susan. Yes, I will be there. I'm going to look for you. I will be on the end over there by, not where the Gilmer Mirror is, but on that opposite end over by, I think, Blake's Furniture, whatever that is over there. But yeah, I will see you in Gilmer. I want everybody to have an amazing day. I want to see you at the top because the bottom is too crowded. That's where everybody is. That's where it appears to be everybody, because you see all your friends and all these people you know. They're just there steeped in mediocrity, and we want to get to the top. It's where 3% of the people are. My uncle Jim Rohn said that's where 3% of the people are, and they're doing things that only some people are going to dream about. You've got to set your goals up so high and set the standard of the bar so freaking high until it scares you. I read something that says if your dreams are not big enough to scare you, then they're not big enough. They're not. They're not. We don't want to be stretched out under anything except for palm trees on the beaches of the world. The world is going to keep rotating. It doesn't matter whether you're standing on top of it or stretched out under it. It's not going to stop. So practice acceptance. It's not going to stop. You can be dying out, or you can be up and at it. It's going to keep rotating. You decide on where you want to be. All right. I do have a Spanish class that's coming up on October the 26th. It is an adult Spanish class. Inbox me for more details. I cannot wait to get back in class. It's been a minute. Our last class ended, and we have students that are working on their Spanish. Tremere, Gwen. I have a judge. I'm not going to say her name. I have another insurance broker, Tremere's cousin. So it's like we got this really good group of business people who are learning Spanish and getting that competitive edge. And so you're welcome to join that class for a fee, of course. So inbox me if you have some information that you want to share with me about it. You have a comment, you have a suggestion, or you need more information about it. I am going to be asking for assistance with this family of 8 children who have lost everything, and I'm sure that everything probably seems hopeless and lost for them. We are sisters and brothers keeper, and so I want you to be able to give back in some kind of way. And so I'm asking now that you help me help them. It's 8 children, 8, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They gotta eat every day, bathe every day, and they need uniforms and they need all this stuff. So I'm supposed to get the list today of their sizes. So I want to thank you in advance for that. But I want you to get out and have an amazing day, make a difference in the life of somebody else. And remember, we'll see everybody at the top because the bottom is too crowded. Have a terrific Thursday, and I'll see you tomorrow.